Hey everyone, it's Emily Seagrin, and I want to talk to you today about living your life with intention and purpose. If you've watched me before, you'll know that I am an Avon representative, and I've come to a crossroads in my life, in my career. And so I am taking my next bold move by doing something outside of my comfort zone, outside of my routine, so that I can hopefully grow and provide some inspiration and tips to other people. So I've come to this place a few different times in my career, and a little bit about myself. I started selling 8 years ago and had been in the network marketing industry for a couple of years before that. I have a marketing background, and I wanted to be able to stay home and be at home when my kids grow up, but also have that career. I tried being a stay-at-home mom and had nothing else to talk about except poopy diapers and what my kids were going through that day. And it just wasn't me. I wasn't happy. I wasn't fulfilled. So I decided I needed to do something else. So I started Avon. I tried for my first year to do it the traditional route, throwing books and trying to find customers in different neighborhoods, going door to door. And after months of trying, I really wasn't getting anywhere. I took a really big step in opening an Avon retail store. I had never run a retail store before. I had never been a manager, and I took a big chance, and I learned a lot. I almost immediately failed, and I had been given some projections on numbers and used those to lay out my plans for the business. And those numbers were way off. So I quickly learned that I needed to adjust and change things. If I didn't make changes, it was going to ruin our family. So I quickly learned how to stick up for myself and deal with people and confront situations that I'm not necessarily comfortable with. So after a couple years, the business was doing well. There were still things outside of my control. We were in a indoor mall, and we had to go by the hours of the mall. So at Christmas time, that would get really awful. I didn't like that the mall could make me move locations. So little by little, I got fed up and finally decided that I didn't want to be there anymore. I didn't want to be a renter because there were too many factors that were out of my control that could spin my world upside down. We moved 3 times. One of them was right after I had my daughter. So my husband spent the week of our brand new daughter being born trying to fix up the new location. It was a very stressful time. It was not worth it. So looking back, I slowly made changes so that I could take back control of my life. So then let's fast forward. I thought that I wanted 2 stores. You see, I had made it to one of the top sales levels, and I didn't know where else to go. So I thought more would be better. So I decided I wanted 2 retail stores, which was a really bad idea. I guess I shouldn't say that because I did grow and I learned from the situation, and it did push me in another direction to grow another area of my life. So I opened the second location, and things got even worse. I started getting daily headaches. My daughter was 3 at the time, and she started acting out, and my husband was stressed out. Things were just not running smoothly, and it really made me take a step back, not to mention that I found out I had a brain tumor. So I went through with getting that removed. It was growing. It was luckily not cancerous, but I didn't like the idea of something growing on my brain, so I had it removed. It was the scariest time of my life. My life was out of control. The house was messy. I was working way too many hours and way too stressed out, trying to keep these 2 stores afloat. So I started focusing on online marketing and growing my leadership team. It was always an area of the business that I didn't think I wanted to pursue, but really took another look at it as far as growing it online. I didn't understand why I would build up my own competition, but when we talk about doing it online and adding representatives from all the different states across the U.S., it made a lot more sense to me. So I started focusing on that online business and leadership. And that was even before I found out I was going to have surgery. So by the time the surgery came around, I also have to add in there that I get really bad anxiety. I'm getting better at it. I have figured out what triggers there are for my anxiety, and I work to build my life so that those triggers no longer exist. Okay, I have anxiety. I have little kids. I have 2 stores. I have a brain tumor. And I really was so fearful that the only thing I could do was put my trust in God. It was my first time in my life where I really had to depend on my faith to get me through something. I'd had other difficult times in my life. I was supported myself when I was in college and was working full time and doing college. Fast forward to meeting my husband, and I had an exploratory surgery for an appendectomy when I was pregnant. So those may have been times where, maybe it was a calling for me that I should have been looking at my life differently, but it really didn't hit me until the brain surgery. And my life was out of control, and I knew I had to make changes. So what I started to do was really open myself up. When you're anxious and you're worried and you let fear take over your life, you kind of shut down. So I really took the opposite approach, where I wanted to share everything about my life. I didn't want to die and have lived this stressful, productive life. That's not success and that's not happiness. So I decided that I needed to open myself up. I wanted to make a difference in other people's lives. And at that point in my life, I was so focused on being successful that I was not happy. It was affecting our whole family. It was affecting my health. And that's when I really changed my point of view. I decided that I needed to be healthy in order to take care of my family. And being happy was not necessarily being successful. I want to have a good marriage. I want to be a good mom. I want to live my life in faith and dependent on God. So I really needed to take a look at where I was headed and change things around a lot. So whether you've had this moment in your own life or not, I really suggest living your life with purpose and intention. So many of us go through life in a reaction mode, that we let things happen to us and we blame everyone else besides ourselves. But living a productive and happy and meaningful life means taking ownership and really designing the life that you want to live and not letting life happen to you. So I've been, I talked to you about how I'm in this interesting place in my business because, so here's what happened. the stores were not as profitable as I would have liked them to be. So I really focused on building that online business and my leadership business, signing up new Avon representatives. I focused on that, and those areas became successful. So now I'm at a place where I have reached the highest sales level with Avon. I'm down to one store, luckily, and much happier. So more isn't always better, you guys. I've learned that firsthand. So I have one store. I'm up to the highest sales level, which is over $220,000 a year. My online sales are just keep growing. I really feel it's the direction that the network marketing business is headed. So this year I am hoping I plan on selling over 80,000 online and hoping to approach that 100,000 marker, but I don't know if it'll happen this year. And then my team has really grown to a really great size that I'm very proud of. I've only focused on leadership for about 3 years, and we are going to do 1.3 million or more this year. And my sales increase, our team sales increase is going to end up over 700,000, and we only sold 559,000 last year. So the percentage increase is huge, and I'm so grateful for that. But it has put me in a really interesting spot in my career because I am already providing my team with sales tips and recruiting tips, and I have videos and blog posts and social media where I'm trying to help them be successful. I'm doing everything I can to help them build their dreams. I'm passing on the leads that I'm receiving to my leaders. I send out birthday cards. I send out anniversary cards. I send out welcome and congratulation cards. I have 2 monthly team webinars that I do where I provide tips and tools to be successful. I email my team every week. I'm on social media with my team. I am at a point where I don't know what else to do to help my team grow more or grow faster. So here I am making a video that is generic to network marketing and about living your life intentionally. So this may be a turning point for me where I am focusing on inspiring others outside of the Avon world. So it's a new journey. It's very exciting, and I'm sure I'll make plenty of mistakes because this is my first time talking to you guys in this manner. So I've focused on living a happier life, a more balanced life. Success is still happening in the background, but it is no longer my focus. So I woke up today, instead of checking my phone, I haven't looked at my email, I haven't looked at Facebook. I am living my life today with intention. So I woke up, I picked up the whole house. I stretched for about 10 minutes because I get anxiety and I get that stress and I get muscle pain and headaches, and I don't want to live my life like that. So I stretched, I picked up the house so that my environment is clean and not cluttered and not stressful. And I worked out and took a shower and started laundry. I found that a lot of my anxiety comes from me not preparing for my day, me not preparing for my family and the family life to run smoothly. So it's really been about trial and error and figuring out what works best in my life. So think about your own life and how maybe there's an area in your life where you're not balanced and you need to focus more on it. I do not enjoy picking up the house, doing laundry, cooking. I know probably nobody does, but I really don't like it. So I put that in the beginning of my day so that I get it over with, because I do feel so much better when we have a clean house, when dinner is planned out. Things just go so much better. So think about those things that you may not like doing, but will make your life easier. So let's take a look. Another thing that I have realized in my life is worrying too much. I said I was working full-time and supporting myself when I was in college. I also went through depression and anxiety and a couple mental breakdowns, to be honest with you. I know I've talked a lot about being successful and tips, and where I haven't really shared is the struggles that I've been through in my life. But they have definitely helped shape who I am, what I believe in, and if I can share those and help any of you, I want to talk about those things. So here I am in my married life, and I've worked so hard to not have to worry about finances that I forgot to live my life. So like I mentioned, we were headed down the wrong road. I had the wrong focus. So really, you need to learn balance and how to be happy with yourself. You have to be happy with what you have before you want more. If you just keep wanting more money, more things, more material things, you're not going to find joy in that. At least that's what I've experienced. So I've learned to let go a little bit. I know that I need to relax and have me time and exercise and find balance in my life to find happiness. So it's no longer just a machine. I'm going to do these marketing activities and my business is going to be successful. I don't want my family to fall apart for the success of a business. That's not my intentions. If you remember the beginning of my story, I got into network marketing to be able to spend more family time. So we always want to make sure that we have that primary focus and we're building our day around our priorities. So my team, I keep almost telling you about this, but I keep getting off subject, but my team is at a place where our sales are high enough for me to move up to the next title. Those of you that know the MLM and network marketing, you know that you have to have leaders under you to move up. So that is where I am. Our sales are there. Our leadership titles are not. So that is why I'm looking outside of the business, because there's not much else I can do. I've built people around me. I've built processes around me. I don't want to just be a machine and not be meaningful. So this is how I have found myself speaking to you outside of the Avon world. And hopefully I can help influence you to be a better you. I've really learned that that's what I want. I don't want perfection. I want to be the best Emily that I can be. And if you stop comparing yourself to other people, I think you will find too that you will find more happiness and more peace within. So I've learned to let go a little. My business, like I said, it's more than doubled over the past year. I think I've worked my tail off enough to the point where I might be able to relax a little in my life. So make sure you're enjoying your journey. Keep track of your performance. So we don't know where we want to go if we don't know where we've been. So I like to keep track of sales numbers personally, team sales, and then online sales as well. I always want to be growing and learning and improving. That's what will keep me focused and centered and happy. Make sure that you always have a vision and that you're serving people first. Like I said, I've gotten to the point where I'm at by doing more. You know, I always thought, okay, well, this is working, so I want to do it more of it. But I've turned into more of a productivity machine than living a meaningful life. So I am taking a look at all areas of my life and seeing how I can be happier and provide more meaning. And I hope that you guys can do that too. So today, I encourage you to not look at what more you can do, but what will make the biggest difference. What is most important? What are those activities that are going to make you happy and move you ahead in your career? I hope you guys found this helpful. I hope to plan on giving you many more messages and talking about my life, and hopefully you can learn something from it and it can help you with your daily life or your career. You guys make sure you subscribe. Emily Seagren, find me on YouTube. I also, if you are with Avon, I have branded myself as Makeup Marketing Online. I hope you guys have an intentional, purposeful day. Have a great one. Thanks.